Hey K-popers, and welcome back to Hallyu, where it's time to recap another week in the world of K-pop. A big US TV reveal is but one of many announcements and PR nightmares from SM as their circus continues. X9 Muses members Sera and Itzy both have some pretty shocking reveals and interviews, and of course we got a new crop of fantastic comebacks to check out. Before we get started, I want to quickly thank Hallyu's honorary producers. If you want to show off your bias group in every video, have your say in future content in the channel, and join the official Hallyu Discord server, come support Hallyu on Patreon and join our wonderful community. Alright, now let's jump right in because this is your K-pop news update for May 9th, 2021. Let's start this week's update off by talking about SM Entertainment because wow did SM have an interesting week even by their own standards. Some of it's good news, some of it's bad, and some will probably just make you laugh. So we'll start with the new adventure they're undertaking, which includes some big news on the American front. SM has partnered with MGM Television to create a K-pop competition show in the United States. The goal of this show will be to scout young talent because, well, what else would it be for? And the winners will reportedly form a new NCT unit. And I promise this isn't a belated April Fool's joke, but that new unit will be called NCT Hollywood. In all seriousness though, I do think it's really neat that we're going to be actually getting a US-based TV show like this, and I think it's going to be fascinating to see how the final product looks. Will it look like any other survival show by, say, Mnet from Korea? Will the format, camera work, and editing be westernized? I'd love to know what you guys want to see out of this show, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. And now we'll stick with SM but switch gears to talk about the poor PR department staff who are seemingly never not dealing with scandals big and small, serious or hysterical. So this week it came out that the head of SM's Artist and Repertoire, or A&R department, selected lyrics from his wife for use on 15 different songs by SM artists, even registering her as a lyricist on the tracks. He did not tell SM he was doing this at the time, and the tracks include songs by EXO, BoA, Baekhyun, and EXO CVX. While it has been reported that there is some severe discipline happening internally for this employee, it doesn't sound like he's been fired from the company at the moment, which is wild to me. Now, some people will rightly point out that this isn't really SM's fault if he didn't tell them what he was doing at the time, but my answer to that is that in the past 6 to 9 months or so many instances of SM employees breaking rank or doing their own thing have been happening, and to me that's a pretty big red flag that either employees are unhappy with the upper management or it's just not a tightly run ship with a united workforce. Now, SM did also make a move this week that is great but also kind of funny, and that is that SM actually hired Brian Hun for aespa's upcoming comeback Next Level. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, it would be because Brian was one of the artists that SM's visual team plagiarized for aespa's debut. So SM has clearly righted the wrongs here because Brian is now singing their praises and has done some fantastic concept art for the comeback. But still, part of me just has to laugh at this because there had to have been a seriously awkward conversation when he first joined the team and met the people who stole his work just 6 months ago. But wait, there's still more SM news this week, guys. I told you it's a circus. The Korea Exchange announced on May 4th that both SM Entertainment and YG Entertainment have been downgraded from their designations as top-level blue-chip companies down to mid-sized businesses. Now, this can happen under a number of different conditions, but the specific reason given for the downgrade of these two companies was, quote, poor performance and increased losses. Despite both SM and YG's huge market cap and sales, they both have had huge declines in profitability and return on equity over the past 3 years. In fact, YG has averaged a yearly loss of $1.6 million, and SM, they're averaging an annual loss of $21.7 million, with 2020's losses being $71.4 million. For comparison, JYP Entertainment is still a blue chip company averaging a $25.2 million profit over that same time period. And speaking of JYP, let's give SM a break for now because we've got a pretty interesting story that came out just after last week's news update about Itzy. Itzy were guests on the SBS show Tiki Dakar and spent a long time talking about their trainee and pre-debut experiences in JYP. This included Taeryung discussing how difficult her time was because she was a trainee for 7 years before her debut. And then the girls dropped the bomb that they were collectively going to leave JYP Entertainment completely before they debuted. We'll likely never know exactly how this went down internally, but the girls' grievances must have been pretty serious and they must have had a lot more pull for their demands on JYP since they all banded together to negotiate with the label. And I'm sure now that Itzy are superstars with crazy sales numbers like we've been seeing for Guess Who, both sides are probably happy they figured it all out in the end. Now, the former 9 Muses member Sera also had an eye-opening interview this week with YouTuber Feifo Kaides about her time in 9 Muses. Sera revealed that she was forced out of the group by her label Star Empire Entertainment in 2014. When Sera was discussing the contract renewal with her label, she asked for extra clauses to allow 9 Muses to attend concept meetings so that the group could have more control over their artistry going forward. The next thing she heard about her status with the label and the group was a news broadcast that she was no longer a member of Nine Muses. That means she found out about her removal from the group alongside all of the fans. She also shared that she never signed with other music agencies after that because she was genuinely scared of Star Empire's CEO, who, quote, has huge connections and gave her reason to believe he was going to physically harm her if she did so. I think it goes without saying this is completely unacceptable and criminal behavior, and while it's likely a lot better nowadays in K-pop compared to 7 years ago, I'm sure it still happens in smaller labels, and I really hope that it can be eradicated soon with all the new legislation coming in from the government. And with that, it's time once again to check out all the wonderful new music our favorite groups and soloists gave us this week. Let's kick things off like it's 2012 all over again. Here's Highlight's soothing new song, Not the End.
I'm still here, it's not the end.
Bumkey and Mamamoo's Moonbyul teamed up in this new track called The Lady.
I'm feeling your style.
The consumer goods giant Lotte enlisted the talented Brave Girls in their latest Idol CF. Here is Red Sun.
Shadow, red sun.
Punch's beautiful vocals shine through in her latest solo outing called We're Breaking Up. Amber Liu is back with yet another song, this time giving us the low-key song Complicated.
Life got complicated, our minds so frustrated.
EXID's Hyerin made her solo debut this week. Here is Lonely. Super Junior's Yesung brings the retro vibes in his latest solo called Beautiful Night. This collaboration from Sumin and Zion T is called Cream Pong and is set in a really messy apartment. And last but not least is soloist Ailey, who dropped some preview tracks from her next album this week. Here is Make Up Your Mind.
Baby, make up your mind.
As always, I want to know what songs from the past week have caught your eye down in the comments. My pick for this week is Highlight's Not the End. It's almost impossible not to feel something after listening to this beautiful song from the legendary boy group. And now let's get back to some more news, where we'll start with some impressive pre-order achievements. First up is Tomorrow by Together, who've recorded over 520,000 pre-orders for their upcoming album The Chaos Chapter Freeze. And if you thought that was impressive, don't look now at NCT Dream's Hot Sauce has cleared 1 million copies pre-ordered ahead of its release. Congratulations to both of these artists. XOLs, prepare for some feels because Baekhyun has officially enlisted in the military and has shared this picture posing with Sehun after his buzz cut. IOI had their 5th anniversary broadcast this week. There was lots of great content to enjoy as the girls relived some of their previous activities and their songs, as well as talking about their future plans. And on that note, Somi revealed that she's been working on some new music that should be coming pretty soon, and apparently she's already shared some of the songs from her new album with her fellow IOI members. In some bittersweet news, Hana, a former member of Gugudan, announced this week that she has left Jellyfish Entertainment. Hana was my bias in Gugudan, and while it's sad that she never had a real chance to shine, she is now pursuing acting full-time, so I wish her the best of luck with that. As I mentioned in some of the earlier news, aespa are coming back very soon. The rookie SM girl group is due back on May 17th with a song called Next Level. A huge congratulations goes out to BTS, as Dynamite has been certified triple platinum by the RIAA. This means the group sold 3 million copies in the US, an astonishing number. So as we know, GOT7's Bam Bam signed with Abyss Entertainment this year, and it turns out it was thanks in large part to Sunmi. The two are close friends, share the same May 2nd birthday, and of course were also former JYP label mates. Brave Girls are sticking to their brand and rewarding fan loyalty in a really unique way. The girls have been sending snacks that they endorse to soldiers in the military, including Bread Eat Bread, Turtle Chips, and Dr. Yu Jeju Water. Some congratulations are also in order for Hwasa. Her MV for Maria has passed 200 million views on YouTube, which is a huge number for a solo release. If May wasn't already jam-packed with comebacks, Everglow are joining the roster. They'll be dropping a mini album on May 25th and have reportedly already finished filming the MV for the comeback. And while we don't have official dates yet, Luna are also gearing up for a comeback sometime soon. Nothing much is confirmed yet, but we do know it'll at least be a mini album. BTS member J-Hope has become the latest idol to donate 100 million Korean won to the Green Umbrella Children's Foundation. The money was donated on Children's Day and it's earmarked for supporting children in Tanzania who are victims of violent acts. Now, to add some more bad news from the financial side for YG, some executives including the CEO Hwang Bo-kyung and their finance director have been exposed this week for insider trading. As part of the Burning Sun scandal, audits were done of the company's financials and it was discovered that 3 different executives were trading under borrowed names while simultaneously working to attract people to become investors in YG. G-Idol's Yuki will be getting a solo debut. She's been open about her upcoming song in interviews and with fans, and since she's working in China for the next few months, it's likely that the song will be sung in Mandarin, at least originally. The Rolling Stone Korea magazine is launching soon, and look who will grace the cover. It's the stars of P-Nation, namely Psy, Jessie, Hyuna, Dawn, Hige, and D-Ark. And Psy celebrated in the most Psy way possible, with this video from his Instagram. Alright, now let's talk about another week in music shows, and we're finally back to a full lineup of shows this week, so it was exciting. And Hyphen kicked off the week with a pair of wins for Drunk Dazed on the show and show champion, including this incredibly close 3-way race with AB6 and On and Off. And yes, Dreamcatcher fans, I know there have been closer races, I hear you. Now they would go on to take another win on Music Bank, making it 3 total wins for Hyphen this week. Itzy also claimed a trophy on M Countdown, taking their first win for Mafia in the Morning. And on Show Music Core, it was IU with the surprise return to form. She took her 8th win for Lilac on Show Music Core. We finished the week with a wild result. Brave Girls came back out of nowhere to win their 7th show for Roland, earning the triple crown on Inkigayo. Will any of this week's comebacks overtake Hyphen and Itzy's wins? Let me know what your predictions are for next week's music shows. Alright K-popers, you're officially caught up on everything that's going on in this wild world of K-pop. Let me know how you feel about this week's news and the new music we got down in the comments. As always, if you want to stay caught up with the K-pop world as it happens while having a ton of fun every single week, make sure you're subscribed right here to Hallyu.